Welcome back to United States of Australia. We're a bit late. I just recorded something with the great Dr. Steve from Opie and Anthony fame and Weird Medicine on Sirius XM. So that will be premiering, well, hopefully around 1 o'clock Eastern. I should be getting that out. So that'll be fun. But we're here to talk a bit more NFL playoffs, and we're getting to see a man that hello, someone let's do this on the fly. He's just turned up. A man that is as devastated me after week one of the playoffs. Josh, how you doing?
Doing good, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. I was interested to see if you'd actually sound decent or not, and you sounded okay, so that's all good.
Well, that's good.
Next up, for the first time in first time in 2024, because he wasn't on the news show and all that. So it's the first time we're seeing this man in a long time. Everyone, please welcome Jay Scoop. John Cena? Is it John Cena? Yeah.
What is up?
That looks amazing. I don't know what to say. I love that you've gone all out for your return to United States of Australia.
Thank you. Maybe a couple of minutes and then I'll die of heat exhaustion, so I'll take it off. But I'm surprised you saw me. I'm
I know it's amazing. It's just that there's another box at the bottom of the screen. I just thought I'll add whoever's in it. Speaking of heat exhaustion and adding whoever's in the box, Robbie the Mariner fan, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Speechless after that.
After what?
The ghillie mask or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this episode is titled Russian Souvenirs. Is this some sort of a souvenir here, J Scoop?
No, this is our side. This is part of our camouflage. Good. So yeah. Fuck that. I wouldn't wear I wouldn't put nasty ass mask that some Russian was wearing on.
Yeah, good point. The one person watching is Big Greg in Iowa. I can't see anyone in Scoop's window. Thanks, Greg. We did that joke almost immediately. But in response to his next comment, Robbie needs to go to the bottom right. And he is bottom right.
He's the anchor, man. He holds it down.
Yeah. Keeps us on a steady, although at the moment we're leaning this way. That's why I'm on top of this side. I try and keep it steady. But no, Scoop, you did say that you wanted to. Do you want to take that thing off? Are you getting?
Yes, I'm gonna die in here.
Yeah,
there he is.
Just so we can prove that Scoop is actually back. He is actually here.
What'd you say about me?
Yeah, all the things we always say about you. So yeah, you did mention that you've grabbed a few souvenirs along the way in the weeks that we haven't had you on the podcast. Did you want to? I've also noticed actually, just as you turn to the side, are you shaving in a goatee?
Oh, I used to always have this, not like a goatee, but just the
bottom.
Just the bottom part. Yeah.
I always had it singing in my normal, my original band music. And then when I joined a cover band and they wanted to be more like polished and whatever, I was like, that hair. I felt like I was on the Yankees roster with George Steinbrenner. Like, what the hell was that on your hair? Yeah. And so I was just like, whatever. I'll shave it off for a while. And then I came over here and then some of the girls were like, we like facial hair. I'm like, no problem. Yeah. No problem.
It tickles my asshole when you're licking my pussy. So anyway, you did mention souvenirs. Have you got anything to show us? You know what I mean? You did kind of talk it up behind the scenes. Yeah. If I don't see a Russian skull, I'll be disappointed. But
it's dirty. I use it as my coffee mug. So yeah, but I'll show you other things. It's kind of exciting. I feel like you remember show and tell in school.
Yeah, I love
whatever?
show and
yeah,
tell.
that's
The only thing I liked in school was show and tell because that meant we weren't doing something educational.
Yeah. So
you can sit at your desk.
it's kind of a couple of random things, but I was
Please be
going
a
to show
hand.
you.
Please be a hand. Please be a hand.
No, the first is the bottom of a mortar, shell, like the part that spins it through the air. From after it blew up, of course.
That's a good thing.
What's that?
I said that's a good thing. I don't want you showing and telling about an unexploded bomb you're about to.
Like in Malcolm in the Middle. You guys ever see Malcolm in the Middle where? Yeah, there was a show called Malcolm in the Middle, and like they had this crazy great granddad or something that gave one of the kids as a gift a grenade, and they didn't know it was a live grenade, and so they blew up their house with it. So yeah, it just whenever I hear that,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So luckily I'm smart enough. That one and this one, I hope to like clean them up somehow because now they're all rusty or whatever. But here's a big shell from one of the APCs, armored personnel carriers. The mounted guns on the top. I'm not one of the. Maybe Robbie could tell you the caliber. I'm not one of those guys that knows every last freaking thing. I just grab it and shoot it. If it's something, it's one of my favorites, then I'll learn all the nomenclature. But I'm not one of those guys. Like a lot of my friends, they know every letter, the max effective range of it. That's not me. Where do you want me to shoot that fucking thing? So those are the weapons related things, and then oh man, should I go to my favorite?
Is that a necklace of ears?
Okay,
this is a freaking Braveheart or some crazy shit.
Well, basically, what I'm about to show you now is just what an unfortunate Russian was wearing that now is no longer with his body.
Rest in peace, Alexander.
In other words, his uniform. I have the full uniform of him.
You dress up for a dead Russian for Halloween.
That's
like
amazing.
a Russian zombie.
Although,
you watch enough.
Not get much candy.
I figured the smartest thing to do in Ukraine would be dress up as a Russian.
Well, dress up as a dead Russian. That's give me the life of the party.
And they're like, great, now they're fucking coming back from the dead too.
But it'd be like Bill Murray dressing up as a zombie in Zombieland and then getting shot because they actually thought he was a zombie.
Right, exactly.
That's a good point.
So the uniform I haven't cleaned or anything because me personally I think it adds a little bit of I don't know.
Flair? What's the from that one movie Office?
To me it's almost like the spirit of the whole thing would be gone. You know what I mean? Like if you wash
right.
the clothing where you got smoked in. Then that would be bad. I don't know. I just feel like you'd take away part of what the person was. So he didn't get hit in the top. So this is his blouse.
He's a little blouse.
Well, that's what we call it in the military, the blouse.
Is he a little bitch? Was he? Look at him. Yeah, Robbie's right.
No, it's a little.
What a little pussy.
He's like 5'6".
Huh.
Let's see.
In the Gap section.
It could almost fit me. I don't know.
My son
Kind
can
of
wear
hard to tell.
that. Please.
Thought I left the name thing on there. Maybe it came off. I'm not sure. But where he got hit, really smoked was the bottom. And I still have.
I mean, is this legal, Scooby? Are we allowed to do this?
Oh, by the way, By the way, there may be some disturbing things I'm going to show, and we reserve the right to blah, 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 legal writing.
I'm willing to get deplatformed
No,
to see this.
oh,
Let's go.
absolutely. No, shut us down, YouTube. I don't give a fuck.
I'm out of the fucking jurisdiction of whoever the fuck's going to fuck with me, all right?
This is great. This is fucking phenomenal.
This guy got hit with
it'd be
white
great
phosphorus.
for podcast numbers if we got shut down because of this. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah,
It could happen, man. It could happen, but it was good while it lasted, right?
Like, first of all, is there shit in his drawers? Is that? Can we
just let us see it? Or not you, like Aussie guy. Like, just we'll see as we see. It's a surprise.
Oh, right. So if there's shit to show, he'll show it. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a random.
Oh, the drama.
So this is the bottoms, which are these are winter bottoms, so they're kind of like if you imagine snow pants, what they feel, you're go snowboarding.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing a commercial.
You can see where he's been hit by like white phosphorus. There's still some white phosphorus
I didn't
on him on the front, and it's like all over, but it might not be as easy to see on camera. But like he got hit hardcore with that, but that's not what killed him.
I love that he got hit hardcore and it's like white stains.
Killed him.
Yeah.
You know what? I had two, and I thought this was the one where it had him hitting the nuts, but apparently it's not. But what it is, well, it is what it is, guys. It's combat. But this is, well, I won't show my favorite till last, but I thought he was wearing some pretty cool fucking
those
goggles.
are cool. I would buy those off of you.
Yeah.
That's like those murderabilia things.
We need to. Yeah, you need to sell these. Like, have a good bidding session for these, Scoop. We need to get this going viral and see if anyone will buy these fucking dead Russian.
Or somebody will buy those.
Yeah.
No way they wouldn't.
Fucking oath. No, we're gonna make some money off this shit.
It's got the
and they seize all our bank accounts.
Well, I'm technically offshore. I guess.
You can get these free goggles.
You'll just have to spend all your money in Ukraine. That's all.
All $20 of it.
But my favorite part of the uniform, I'm surprised I was able to get this, but it's the actual...
You got the fucking
man.
Wow.
Goodness.
Is there brain residue in it?
Is there a hole in it? That's what I'd be figuring.
Kind of tastes like tapioca.
That is
monkey brains, baby.
Dude, how fucking cool is
500 for the helmet right now.
Oh, game on. Big Greg and I said I put money on Robbie buying it. I mean, wouldn't that money then go to Robbie buying it? It's not a good bet, is what I'm saying. It's not a good bet.
This is my favorite though, right? Because it's like you think this was a movie prop, but
yeah,
it's
like how many times did he get hit in the head? Like, what did his head look like when it was done?
One.
Have one.
I mean, these are the parts that are pretty gruesome in war for sure. But
it's amazing.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Right.
So
1, 2, 3.
Did
4,
a bunch of
5,
a bunch of you
7.
collect your own souvenirs, or was it just you?
Ooh, there's another one right here that didn't.
All right, good.
Oh yeah, everybody does it, but the problem is getting it out. So whenever you're trying to leave Ukraine with anything military, especially pro-Ukraine, they're like no. But if it's gonna be like some type of souvenir or something that's not useful, well, now you've got, like, say for instance, the most common border that crosses Poland. They're known for going, yeah, you know, you can't cross with it, because they fucking want it, so they just like take it. You know?
We might have to cut the helmet up and then piece it back together like a Lego to get it back to the United States.
I just love them stumbling across fallen Russian soldiers, going, "What was he thinking? How did he think he could get in there naked? You know what I mean? Like it was a sitting duck.
Yeah. So it's a pain in the ass, even if you are legitimately sending anything from here to or from America. My dad was trying to send me something and he basically got raped like for money. Like, I mean, it was so bad. By the time I got it, was just like, oh, you got to pay for this to send it. Now you got to pay for it to leave America. Now you got to pay for it to get in Ukraine, and you got to pay to pick it up from wherever you're paying. And it was like,
was it over $1,000? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, like,
we were reaching the price of what the item was, and it was an expensive and electronic item.
Because like it's crazy. Like
so yes,
I got six books mailed back to me that I bought at a used bookstore, and I got it mailed back from Indianapolis, and it was like $40 in shipping for $6 for 6 books.
Oh no!
So just think how crazy. If that's $40, think.
Yeah. The other part was my dad made the mistake of paying for express shipping.
Oh no!
But it doesn't matter, because basically as it's leaving, in this case it was DHL, because they're one of the few that will go all the way to Ukraine. And but DHL is doing their thing. That's great. But when it's getting ready to leave America, they're like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me check that, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks or something like that. You know, it's just like U.S. Customs is crazy. I can understand it coming in, but going out, like, who the fuck cares? And it's going to a war zone. Maybe something explodes. Who can?
Maybe it's a dirty bomb. It will ever happens.
Yeah. So I was very confused by how hard it was to send something out.
It's hard to get stuff out of the country, but it's very easy to get into the country, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, it's just but and then as far as once it gets here, it's like, I don't remember what they said the price was, but basically once it's over a certain price and value, then they just start bending you over. Well, the problem is, it's like, okay, do I want a chance sending something expensive and it disappears and I didn't have it insured? Or do I say what it was worth and now I'm going to get fees up the yazoo, but at least I know I'm going to get it because I have it, or I'm going to get my, reimbursed. So anyways, that was the main stuff. And then I just have like my first aid kit with all the good stuff in it and an MRE.
Good stuff. That looks yummy.
Yeah, can't tell you what's in it because it's in another language.
I have thousands of them.
That might be best.
I know, right? It's like, what is this? I don't know. Kind of tastes like dog.
It would say Korea on the package.
I mean, I could take my phone and Google Translate.
Yeah, you probably don't want to be honest.
That's just it, right? I don't know if I want. Oh, wait, there looks like there's some kind of granola-y looking thing. Oh, no, it's crackers. Let's see.
There you go. Eat them on the show. That'd be great.
Yeah, right. It's like, we're doing a live recording of just. So there you go. That's my main souvenirs. Oh, and I have a first aid. Gauze. I thought I showed that before, but maybe I didn't. But it's literally from the 1980s when they made it, and that's some of the shit they're using right now to patch guys up over here. That's why I'm like, guys, help us with money. No, don't worry about the corrupt shit. Just send medical stuff, because this piece of yarn is what they're using to like stitch some guy up with. But I was just thinking about, like, 1980s gauze. Like, what the fuck?
Old school, man. Slap a Band-Aid on it.
Mm-hmm.
Big Greg has popped back in. Well, again, still the only person watching. Rocky Mountain Oysters, which is a decent segue into. Oh wait, what do we got there? Hoover Shigan.
It's that gauze.
Yeah.
And it says 1986. Is this older than you, Robbie?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Can you imagine, Robbie? We're gonna patch you up with this thing that's older than you.
It's almost as old as me, to be honest with you.
It's fucking crazy though, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
pull the string and let's hope that it's not dust inside.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's not
Anyway.
a condom.
Show and tell for now what I have.
No, that was great, Scoot. We appreciate you bringing that stuff.
The helmet was.
Yeah, the helmet was top notch. But
The
yeah,
helmet
having the
is my
pants,
fucking favorite part, and
having
the
the
goggles
pants
are
with all the
cool.
cum stains on them. And,
Yeah,
all
oh,
that. That's fucking great.
And now
Um,
the antibacterial.
Nice. All right. So the other main purpose of the show this week was NFL playoffs, and we haven't talked to Scoop about the NFL in a little while. And I'll just kick off, and Josh can give his thoughts afterwards. But just the sheer disappointment and frustration with the Dallas Cowboys.
Fucking Cowboys, man.
And the disappointment and frustration of Jerry Jones just going, yeah, no, we'll go again with this, everything exactly the same. Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, all that. Like, look, I'm a Dan Quinn fan, but it's now turned up in, a few major playoff games where, like, what the fuck is going on? Suddenly the Cowboys are playing a zone in the playoffs when I've barely seen them do it, if at all season, and just giving up easy third down plays. And then, like the offense clearly wasn't ready to play. Like, this was a game exactly same as the Bills game, Robin. You remember it when the Bills stomped the Cowboys. I said in the first quarter, Cowboys ain't switched on. They're giving up silly penalties. Things aren't clicking. The same thing in this game. It was halfway through the first quarter. I said, they're not switched on. They're not ready to play. That is on coaching. That is coaching. That is not preparing your guys to play. So, look, now it is literally just a case of this team will fail in the playoffs. We'll win fucking 11, 12 games again next year, and then we'll go into the playoffs and fucking shit our pants again. I just can't anymore. Josh?
Well, it's been this, like you said, it's the same old Dallas Cowboys, man. We look good in the regular season, but we don't have anything to show for it come playoffs. This was a week or two a little bit earlier than I thought. It wasn't like I was going Super Bowl this year, but I mean, it's disappointing because it was the Packers. I mean, it's the 7th seed. There is no excuse for it. I mean, I had to laugh at it. I looked at my son. I walked out of the room for a minute. I said, what's the score now? He said 27-0. I said, it's game over, man. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, we could score. We can't stop Aaron Jones. This guy's going to kill us again. I don't know.
That was the crazy thing. The 27-0, that was off the back of a Dak Prescott pick six. And even at that point, it was 20-0, but it was like Cowboys got the ball. If we score, we get it in the first and the second half. We score again. It's 20-14. You know what I mean? This game ain't over. That pick six was just like, holy fuck. But then even then, they got the touchdown before halftime, 27-7 or whatever. And then it's fucking, you get the ball to start the second half. It ain't actually over. But what did they score? On 6 out of 7 drives, they scored touchdowns. Are you out of your fucking mind?
You're correct. I mean, they weren't out of it, but I mean, knowing the Cowboys, you just had to feel they were out of it. I mean, that was luck on the touchdown before halftime. I mean, that was a gift getting 7 points because they shouldn't even got that, to be honest.
No, Shanahan, he's sitting there waiting because he knows that if Green Bay pulls this off, that's who he's going to face. And he said something like midway through, like, what was it? Like midway through the second at the latest, he was like, all right, this is, I'm scouting this team now. This
Correct.
is over. And I feel bad for you guys as we've seen this happen like a few times now, and as my friends, I feel bad for you guys. But I can tell you why this happened. And it's because your team single-handedly fucked me over in fantasy football. And so it comes full circle, you bastards. I had 3 main players on my fantasy team that were on your team. And I'm like, all I needed them was to barely crawl out of bed, and I would have won my matchup, and nobody could do anything. And so I was so angry. I didn't win my thing. But it's funny. I don't know if you remember this play. Well, you probably do, Ozzy. But there's one play in particular that drove me up a wall. I think you guys already had lost the game pretty much. I don't remember who you were playing, but you guys were doing like a garbage time drive down the field, and then you were inside the 10, and I've got Dak, Ferguson, and Pollard on my thing. All I need is for the touchdown pass, touchdown run, whatever, as long as it involves any of those guys. And what do they fucking do? They do a gimmick play, handoff to CeeDee Lamb. He scores this garbage time touchdown, and the game ends, and I lose by, like a couple points. So that day I was like, you motherfuckers, if you lose in the playoffs, I'm going to say this is why. And that was what ended up happening.
There was one play in that game. I just want to know if y'all remember. Was it Jair Alexander that turned and shoved CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee did nothing to it? He walked away from it. To me, that was just
like he was already defeated or whatever.
Exactly. Like we were like in the position to say, "Oh, we're going to let you just take it to us today." That's what I got. I got like it was a soft squad out there for the whole game, just everyone.
Yeah, my take in general. It's easy to say that the pressure got to them. I think it's more of a case of they went in thinking they're just booked into the next round, and they thought it would be easy. But I am honestly almost at the point now where I'm like, is it better for business if the Cowboys just keep losing? Like, you look at your social media feed or whatever straight after the game, and it's everyone piling on the Cowboys, and every talk show is talking about how the Cowboys failed again. Like, I think if the NFL were rigged, I always say, well, wouldn't you have the Cowboys win a Super Bowl at some point? Maybe it's better business for the Cowboys to keep fucking this shit up. I don't know how you don't make any changes. Yeah, I don't know how you don't make any changes. Like, who gives a fuck you win 12 games every year? Like, it's what they beat the Buccaneers last year. A limping Buccaneers that were awful. Outside of that, it's coughing up games to wild card teams that shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden that team finds their way through the playoffs. It's crazy to me. But I had to get that off my chest. But let's get into this weekend's games, because obviously, Scoop, your team had the week off. And Robbie, let's go to you first. The Steelers game started well. Josh Allen did well. I guess, first of all, what do you think about the quote-unquote fake slide? Have you seen this?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. If they would have called it, it would have been it would have been just as much backlash than if they didn't call it.
I think
and then
more.
Also, like if people that say it's a fake slide, they need to go back to the original play by Kenny Pickett when he played at Pittsburgh, which caused that rule change. That was, if that's what's considered the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the precedent, like you have to do what this guy did. It was so non-egregious compared to Kenny Pickett, who was like halfway to the ground and then like went back up. Like, I encourage anyone who thinks, oh, what Josh Allen did was a fake slide. Yes, it's unfair that like you can't hit quarterbacks really. And it's very likely if he would have slid there, depending on how close it was, if they would have hit him, they would get a flag. But that's no different than any other part of the field. I think he was just stopping to take his, because there was 2 guys coming at him.
It was a change of direction.
What?
It was a change of direction. Yeah, that's all it was.
I know I'm rambling, but because there's just like it's.
No, look,
I don't think he was doing it.
I get frustrated.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I get frustrated by the protection of the quarterbacks, just in terms of, and I saw someone say, past the line of scrimmage, you're another runner and you're fair game, and at the end of the day, if a runner gives himself up, it's still the same penalty. Quarterbacks are the only guys giving themselves up. Running backs, receivers, and that they're going to try and get as many yards as they can. But I kind of feel
he goes down when he gets the ball.
yeah.
I remember
but no,
Isaac Bruce did that too. Some of the best receivers of all time were the ones that like get as many yards as can, and then when they realize they're about to get clobbered, they just drop to the ground.
Yeah. But no, I do kind of agree with that. That past the line of scrimmage, you're a runner now, and there's none of these quarterback protections anymore. You get as far as you can, but you got to take a hit.
It is that way if they don't slide, but if they slide, then it's like this whole different ball game. So
yeah,
because that was a great juke by Josh Allen. Just to say,
it was good, and look, the Steelers kind of wormed their way back into the game, and it wasn't kind of dealt with until the fourth quarter. But I think it was pretty solid. From at the end of the day, you just got to win them. Playoff games, you just got to win. Yeah. I think it was pretty solid from Josh Allen and the Bills. So, all right, now we've discussed last week. Now let's get into this week. 4 big games, the divisional round. I think we kick off with the Texans, and is that the first one? Texans Ravens.
I'll see the schedule. I believe so.
I think so. I think it is Texans Ravens first one.
I'll kick it off. First of all, I'll say to just Josh, you said on one of our last discussions about the NFL, you mentioned the Texans as a sneaky one for a run through the playoffs, and CJ Stroud lights out. Dude, how you feeling about Texans in this one against Baltimore?
I kind of like them, but I'm not going to take them to win the game. I don't think they're there yet, but it wouldn't be surprising. CJ Stroud has just been a baller, man. I mean, I've been so happy to see how he's performed this year. It's not being the number 1 pick, not a big deal, maybe to him and his family, but other than that, I mean, he's been great for the Texans. And like I said, look, he's made Nico Collins look like a number 1. I mean, if Tank Dell was still there in this game, maybe I'd feel a little bit better with them. But they're playing good ball, so it's not like the Ravens have shown anything playoff-wise the last couple of years to make me say, "Oh, who's big bad Ravens?" The defense is legit, but still, I think CJ could tear it up.
Yeah, and you do often see a 1 seed. I mean, back in the day, it was a 1 or 2 seed. The system's obviously changed, but there's plenty of occasions that team that has the bye week, it's the whole rest versus rust thing. Having the week off for a team is just ready and firing. Look, Robbie, I assume you're pulling it up. What's the point spread on that game? Do you have that up?
So I was placing a bet on the Bills. So are we talking?
Yeah, shocking.
Texans Ravens, we're talking.
Yeah. So that's good because I want to. So depending on ESPN bets, because if you look at the app, their odds now are just through their stupid app. But so it's anywhere from 9 to 10. So ESPN has it at, ESPN has it at 9.5. And yeah, DraftKings does too. So
all right, well, 9.5. I'll definitely take Texans to cover that for sure.
Feels like a rat line.
Yeah, I know.
There's lines that everyone goes, "Oh, why is it that high?" And those are always the ones that end up.
That's true. I'm very comfortable in conceding that this game could easily be the Ravens get a little bit of a jump, and then it's just fucking junk time for 2.5 quarters. I could certainly see that happening, but I do like the way the Texans are playing at the moment, and I think they can certainly keep it within a touchdown. I'll take the points on Texans. Do I think I can? Do I think they can pull off the overall upset? I'm not willing to quite go that far, but I'd love it, and I'm cheering Texans. I'll say that.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think they can cover the 9.5. Josh, just going quickly back to you. What's your thoughts in terms of now that you know the line and everything?
The line, like you said, I would feel good for Texans on a cover, but I still would take Ravens today to pull to the win.
Jay Scoop, how about you?
What was the line, or sorry, the spread?
9.5.
9.5.
Yeah, I would It's one of those ones where you're like, oh, is it because, it's Stroud's first time, if anything starts to go bad, will the wheels just completely fall off, type thing. But I don't know. I still have faith in that kid, man.
He's played big in big games, man.
Yeah, it's crazy what he's done. So until he proves me wrong, like I feel like I would definitely take the points. It's hard. I'm such a conflicted person because of my stupid bet I made with Robbie that I always have to root for in the future who will be the best chance to knock out Buffalo so I don't have to eat bull testicles. So
good.
I'm like, okay, normally I'd be thinking Niners matchups in the future. So any big dog to get knocked out, I want them knocked out. So I want Houston, even though it can be dangerous. Obviously, we saw what the Ravens did against the Niners, even though that game was very overblown. If you really paid attention to that game, it was more about the Niners making mistakes than it was about the Ravens dominating or anything. So I'm not super afraid of the Ravens, but they're the better team at this moment. So I would rather the Texans upset them. But I have to also think about who can knock out Buffalo. And I don't know, man. Maybe only the Chiefs and the Ravens can. So
could we get a DJ onto maybe you yourself, Scoop, onto the upset them?
What?
Anyway, you went up, upset them. I don't know if it was a bit of a stutter or something going on. Yeah. But it did seem like a bit of a, DJ moment. Anyway,
I meant to say earlier, man, it's driving me crazy. I know it's your Australian team, but the fact that you wear that Eagles during football time,
it throws you off, doesn't it?
I feel like it's a protest, that your team did bad, right now. You're like, fuck
no,
you,
I was genuinely thankful to the Philadelphia Eagles for collapsing at the end of the season. Philadelphia Eagles, but gave the Cowboys potentially 2 home games that they just decided to say
no. Fucking take advantage of that.
Yeah, literally a week ago, I was talking about Cowboys Niners conference championship. You know what I mean? Like we just gotta get that sorted.
What they say, 1-5 down the stretch, the Eagles went or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah, something like that.
Dinged up or not, like if you're that good of a team, how they were being hyped up, you're not going to go 1-5.
Well, just the way they got dunked on by the Bucks as well. I mean, again, fucking glass houses. I know the Cowboys got dunked on by the Packers, but it wasn't even, like
they got beat by alligator arms, man. Come on.
Yeah, well, exactly. Mate, good point. Robbie, what's your thoughts on Texans Ravens?
I can't get a read on it. It could be close if CJ Stroud balls out, but I think if the Ravens score early, I just think because they can pass and run, if they get up early, I just don't see us. I don't know.
You remember last time, Robbie, we talked about the Ravens, how they would do after Andrews got hurt, and you said, likely was a good, good tight end. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know yet how that'll translate. And since then I've seen him do decent, like he's been a decent target. So I think you made a good call when it was like a few weeks back. We talked about that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm pretty confident the Ravens are going to win this game. And I was trying to look up the public odds, at least on DraftKings, because you can look and see what how much is being bet. So, like, for instance, the spread, 64% of the public is going on the Texans. And that's one thing that always worries me when it's a large percentage, because Vegas, I'm not saying they fix things, but they're not in the business.
They know what they're talking about. Yeah, they know what they're talking about. Yeah.
And they're trying to get that line to as close to 50-50 as possible, because they get a percentage either way. So when it starts going one way, it usually goes the other way. And it's just, I don't know. I'm pretty confident the Ravens are going to win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans keep it covered or cover it. But honestly, gun in my head, if I was like, okay, if it was 9, I would take the Ravens. I think it's going to be close in the sense that it's not going to be like 3 touchdowns like a situation, but I don't think I have no confidence in Texans winning that game.
Do you think it's the whole CJ Stroud being that shiny new toy, and not just that, but because he backed it up in that first playoff game?
Yeah, and also the Ravens' defense is pretty good, especially against the run.
Yeah,
because they have, and so if let's say this makes me think. Let's say CJ Stroud comes out a little bit of nerves and has a bad first half or first quarter, even just. They don't have this dominant run game where they can do like what the Bills did with sometimes when Josh Allen's erratic, where they can just be like, you calm down. We're going to hand the ball off 4 times in a row and get 20 yards. Like Devin Singletary is a glorified change of pace back who's taking all the reps for the Texans. And you've got guys like Roquan Smith who I think made the all-pro team as a run stuffing linebacker for the Ravens. So CJ Stroud has to ball out for the Texans to keep it close. And you start saying a rookie has to ball out in a divisional round of a playoff game. That just seems like a tall task.
Interesting. Did you get a bit racist? Did you say Ron Blacker?
No, Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Black Packers.
I heard Bracker, but I like your
Bracker.
version better. I like your version better.
In all honesty, I heard Bracker as well, but then I thought Blacker. I was like, even better. Anyway, moving along. Packers Niners, obviously Scoop is emotionally invested in this, so we'll go to him last. I'll go first. I know, well, I'm almost certain this is 9.5 as well. And I think
it's up to 10.
It's up to 10. Still comfortable to say Niners blow past that. Packers fall from grace. Niners are the best team. No doubt about it. They will blow past that tempo. 2 touchdowns at least. The Niners win. Just Josh.
I like where you're going with that. Niners have been the best team in football this season, at least what I feel. CMC is going to have a big day. They will shut down Aaron Jones. Packers, they're not going to trash talk the cheerleaders over there in San Fran.
Nice reference. I like it. Robbie?
I would be stunned if the 49ers lose, but it is interesting to see this. The public is all over the Packers, which is another reason why I would take the 49ers. 63% of the public is doing the Packers money line, or not money line, spread. And what's interesting is I would assume we'd all be like, this would be the upset of the week if the 49ers lost, correct? We'd be more surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
40% of the money line bets are on the Packers as well. So people are buying this Jordan Love hype based off the Cowboys game in a way that they're not even buying it for CJ Stroud and the Texans, which kind of, I don't know what to make of that, but it's interesting.
This happens every year in Australian football.
Exactly.
The top 4 teams, they get a second chance, so they play each other, and then they play a team that won out of the bottom 4 teams. Every single year, everyone sees the team that won, and they go, they're playing great football. They're going to beat the team that lost. You know what I mean? But they lost to one of the best teams. You beat one of the lesser teams. You know what I mean? Like it happens every year. And similar to this, we've not seen the Ravens for a couple of weeks now, and we've not seen the Niners for a couple of weeks now. We just saw the Packers humiliate the Cowboys. We just saw the Texans humiliate the Browns. We're all keen to see it. I could buy it with the Texans. I'm not buying it with the Packers. But great analysis, Robbie. I do like it.
I could see the Packers getting a backdoor cover though, but I would
maybe a backdoor cover. Yeah,
I'm not. Do I think it's going to be close at all? No, but 10 points. I'm not touching that line, no matter who I thought was going to win.
So Rimman's just before you go, Scoot. Rimman's here. Wife doesn't let you do the show from in the house anymore, Josh.
Where do you think I'm at, man?
Gotta love Rimman. He's a funny dude. All right, Scoot, come on. Jerk yourself off over the Niners.
No, I was very impressed by what the Packers did, and but I do feel that they had nothing to lose. They did what any of us would need to do, which is go all out, throw everything at the wall, and hopefully enough sticks to where they can pull out the win. Just so happened that the Cowboys didn't not only just like not play enough to win, but they completely, just fell apart. So,
well, it's more than that. I don't see the Niners completely changing their game plan like the Cowboys did. That's the big thing.
Sure. But at the end of the day, I guess what I'm trying to say for the Packers is that they busted out their whole box of tricks. You know what I mean? I feel like they did everything because they knew that they had to probably do that if Dallas showed up the way they normally do. It just so happened that Dallas didn't. But like any of us would do if we felt like, well, we're fighting Mike Tyson moms, Yeah. And so I feel like that's what Green Bay did, and it fucking worked. But I feel like Shanahan has had plenty of time to prepare for them. I've told you what my team is like many times, as long as they're healthy. But the one thing that's always consistent is Shanahan is a front runner. He will come out the gate and usually do pretty well. But as the game goes on, he doesn't make as good adjustments. And that was always a really bad thing when he's facing a coach that's really good at making the adjustments later in the game. So, for instance, the Seahawks, Pete Carroll is phenomenal at changing the game mid-game. Okay, it's not working, what do I need to do? And that's like the alter ego to Shanahan. That's why we had so many problems against the Seahawks, whether they had Russell or even after with Geno. It's caused us some problems. So that's the only thing that scares me. So when it comes to like these money line thing, or not money line, the spread things, like I could see them giving up points late and it getting a little closer than than it should be. That would be totally what has happened in the past for them. And think about it. It's not Philly. It's not Dallas. It's not Baltimore. It's not that big fucking game, right? That they're amped up for. And most of those games, Dallas and Philly, they torched them. And then Baltimore was the anomaly. But the point I'm trying to make is a team that is not supposed to beat them might be more troublesome for them, like psychologically somehow, like the Cleveland Browns, right? Remember when they played them? I know they were that was the beginning of their streak, and
3-game loss or whatever,
getting dinged up, but they were healthy in the earlier part of that game. But there's this team, it's like, Cleveland Browns, they always suck. Fuck that. This is a win. And then what happened? It was ugly. Kick or miss, but still, like those are the types of games that make you worry. So that's the type of game that Packers will bring.
No, I understand that, and you're always going to be trepidatious if you're a fan of the team. I'm saying the Packers don't even get close, and roast me next week if I'm wrong, but I don't give a shit. They the Niners cook them. Absolutely cook them. We now staying NFC. We're going Bucks Lions. Hopefully the weather's okay in Detroit. We've heard reports that
hopefully they got off the bus to the building.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be fine. But I just can't see the Bucks. The Lions have got, they're a well-structured team, but I think the defense is pretty solid. I just don't know the Bucks can put up enough points in this game. The line on this, I think, is maybe around
6.
It's 6, is it?
It came down to 6.
All right, 6 points. Maybe the Bucks can keep it to a field goal. But I don't know.
6, not 3. So 2 field goals.
No, what I mean is maybe cover by keeping it to a field goal. Is what I mean.
Okay.
Well, you said they're getting 6 points, right?
Yeah, the Lions are -6 favorites.
Yeah, so maybe the Bucks can keep it to a field goal and cover. But I'm just not.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm getting tired. Sorry.
Yeah. So maybe they can keep it to a field goal and cover, but I'm just not convinced. I think it's Detroit's run. Detroit. Look at me emphasizing the D. But anyway, it's their run. I like Packers. Packers. I like Niners, Lions, NFC Championship. If there was going to be an upset, I would say Bucks. over like instead of Packers. I would say Bucks if there was going to be an upset, but I just think the Lions are going to get there. They're going to
Isn't
keep
that
rolling.
so weird saying Detroit in a championship? Like, it's just so weird. Like, I love it. I always root for, and if they're against my team, I'll consider it a win-win because I will totally root for them to do well. But it's just so crazy. My brain processing saying Detroit Lions even in the playoffs.
And that's kind of where I'm at with who's left as to who I'm going to cheer for. And I'll get to it later once we finish all games, but I'll give you my thoughts. But Scoop, Bucks Lions, 6 points, Lions favored. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'd still I consider it not quite as much, but similar as far as the Buccaneers had to go strong in that last game. They had to show most of their cards. Detroit's just, they're strong in so many areas, and I don't know. I'm the type of person where that fucking coach, man, I would literally run through a wall if he was my coach and he told me to do it. I love that kind of coaching. Kneecaps. And so, I love that guy. And then, of course, I've got a soft spot in my heart for Jared Goff because he's Cal Bear. I just don't. I mean, Tampa Bay impressed me that last game, but they were playing a reeling Philadelphia team. They weren't playing, the 10-1 Philadelphia team. They were playing
even that Philly wasn't
down the stretch Philly team. So I think that they're going to be exposed. I think unless some kind of crazy Detroit jinx, like, oh, sorry, city, you just can't win. And so, unless something weird happens, I just don't see how they blow that game. And you said it was 6. Yeah, I think that game just kind of pulls away and it's not competitive.
Yeah, I'll go the Bucks don't even cover. I said there's a possibility they do, but I'm going to say they don't cover. Robbie?
I don't think they cover. If it was 7, I'd be a little more hesitant. But it's 6. I don't think they cover. Jared Goff could always revert to his old school Jared Goff self and have a major meltdown. But you can say that about a lot of players. And even if he has a bad game, they could always just run the shit out of the ball. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Where if Baker starts having a bad game, I mean, Rashad White's okay, but he doesn't scare you as a running back the way like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery could each get the ball 20 times and they could win a game, and Baker Mayfield could throw 10 passes situation. Like their run game is good enough to win a game for the Lions. Not the same with the Buccaneers. So I don't think the Bucs win, and most likely they'll cover, or the Lions will cover as well.
I do give Baker Mayfield a lot of credit for this year, though. He's done.
He saved his career.
Credit to Baker for sure. And he's in the divisional round. Nobody predicted that. Crank Shuttle, what's up, guys? What's up, Crank Shuttle? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. 100% agree. It's been a redemption tour for Baker Mayfield, but it ends now. In my opinion, just Josh, do you agree with the rest of us?
If I had to say there was going to be an upset this weekend, the Buccaneers are the ones I would take. I mean, I like where all you guys are going. I feel the same way. I mean, the Lions have played great. Dan Campbell's an awesome coach. Like Scoop said, you'd run through a wall for this guy. You'd bite somebody's kneecap off for this damn guy. But, I mean, nobody's thinking about this other story on the side. What if this is Baker's redemption, fucking go around and he beats the Lions, and let's say the Packers ended up beating the 49ers, son of a bitch, it could be Baker Mayfield in the Super Bowl. But I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I mean, it's just funny how stories write themselves, and it'd be even better if he beat Josh Allen.
What? Oh, there's the guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that gets us to the end, and yeah, what I will say, and as much as Robbie and his Josh Allen bullshit annoys me, I kind of find myself with the teams left, 8 teams left. I kind of find myself in each conference thinking Lions, Bills is what I want to see. I do. I want that Super Bowl. No disrespect to you, Scoop.
No, it'd be cool because you'd have a first timer.
Exactly.
That's the thing is, other than the bull testicles bet I have, like, I love shit like that. I love things that haven't happened or haven't happened in a long time. Even when the Niners lost to the Chiefs, Chiefs hadn't won since Super Bowl 4.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I love Mahomes, so I was just like, you know what, this is a win-win for me. I want it to be more on that side. So yeah, Detroit, but Bills, holy crap, dude.
It would be amazing. I think it would be a festival atmosphere. Look, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll see how these games go. I'm not going to go ahead and predict that as a Super Bowl, but I just as now that the Cowboys are out and I've got to pick some teams to kind of ride. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Bills and Lions. I want to ride them, and fucking yeah, isolate that. But
I want people
look,
to stay healthy. That's what I want. I want the games to be straight up. I don't want it to be like the Niners championship game last year. It was just stupid, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, going into the final game, Chiefs and Bills. Look, it's become quite the rival. It's almost like I kind of think it's like the Bulls and the Knicks in the early 90s, to where the Knicks really challenged Jordan after he'd won his first title. They really challenged Jordan. And it feels the same way where, Mahomes is the Jordan in this situation, and I guess Josh Allen is the Patrick Ewing or whatever, where the Bills haven't got there and won the championship yet. But they're a team that gives the Chiefs a lot of grief. This time it's in Buffalo. It's Josh Allen's chance. Look, I think the line's only like 2.5 something. It's barely even disgusting. I just think this is a pick 'em game. You just pick it straight up. Who's going to win? I say the Bills win. They're going through to the conference championship, and I imagine they're hoping that the Texans can win so they can host it. But regardless, I think the Bills are going to the conference championship. Just Josh.
I like the Bills against the Chiefs tomorrow, as long as Stephon Diggs isn't wearing anything stupid before game time. He's that guy, I swear to God, man.
Scooper.
I love how anytime you say anything about Josh Allen, Robbie looks like a Sith Lord down there with his hoodie on.
Right, just waiting for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool what the Bills have done, specifically Josh Allen has done down the stretch, because they were that close to not making the playoffs, and then they were like, okay, we're just kidding, we're good. So he's looking like how I would expect him to look. No problem going into the next round. Covering. I wouldn't care what spread you gave me. I would have chosen it, because I feel like this round they're going to show their dominance. They're going to whip out their dick and show you how long it is this round. So
even without Gabe Davis, I think they're still going to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Robbie.
How about that play where Josh took off on that run and made everybody look like they were middle schoolers? That last game where he split the guys and he ran.
Were you not pay attention earlier? We discussed they were calling that a fake slide.
I didn't know that was.
I was rambling so much he probably just auto-tuned it out.
Probably. Yeah.
No, honestly, I didn't know that there was any fake slide thing to that.
No, there wasn't. That was the point.
It was a great juke. That's what it was.
But there was Twitter controversy about it. So
it was because he kind of stopped. In terms of he never went down, but he kind of stopped to change direction. And because he's a white guy and they don't move as smooth as black guys.
God, you'd be so canceled.
Well, because he's the Patrick Ewing of.
Isn't that a compliment? I assume that's a compliment. They're much better at hiding this shit.
This is why we didn't go live.
We are live. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I meant in the past.
All right.
But for me, it was more about just the speed, whatever, the move, whatever you want to call it. He made them look like
he did.
They were a few grades.
He made them look stupid.
You know what I mean? And I was just very it surprised me, but it doesn't, right? We all know he's a superb athlete. We know he has speed, but it's just crazy when he gets into the secondary with these guys that are like 100 pounds practically, and they could float, they can fly, and he's separating from them. And it's I don't care if he had a head start and they're at a standstill. Most of those guys should be able to catch, your average quarterback. And Josh Allen's like, I'm not your average quarterback, motherfuckers. See you. You know, it really, I loved watching that play. It was a really cool play.
No, it was.
Crank Shuttle, Texans beat Ravens, Packers beat Niners, Lions beat the Falcons, Bills beat the Chiefs. Interesting. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yours is mostly wrong.
It's okay. I thought when we started reading that he was picking all upset, but then I saw him in the second half
exactly.
he didn't. So I thought he was just trying to troll us for a moment.
Ribman, Robbie Shaw perked up when Scoop mentioned Dick.
When Josh Allen whips out his dick this round, Robbie's gonna be ready waiting.
We all know whose duck he's thinking of. I think Big Reg means dick. And then we got laughing emojis from Ribman and Crank Shuttle. Thank you very much. Robbie, your turn now. Now, obviously, we know you're picking the Bills, but why? What are they going to do? How are they beating the Chiefs, Robbie?
They have Josh Allen.
Dominance.
They have seriously? That's what you're going to do?
No.
He's like,
you are good. You are genuinely good with your analysis of how.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I'm worried. Here are the reasons I think they could lose.
All right,
Rasul
do that.
Douglas. Rasul Douglas is one of their starting cornerbacks. He's questionable. Teron Johnson's questionable. The concussion.
Next man up.
Just wait till you'll hear it. So their top two cornerbacks might be out. Their third string cornerback was just declared out, Christian Benford. Their starting middle linebacker took over for Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, who's been really, really good. He's questionable he was the guy that got carted off in the last game. And then some dude I've never heard of who's a special teamer is also out. So 4 of the 5 guys that would be seeing, if we might actually have to start DeMar Hamlin. So I'm a little worried.
It's funny because right when he said he was the guy who was carted off last game, I was just about to say, "Oh, dust it off, motherfucker! You're questionable. Get in the fucking game." And then he goes, "He was carted off." I was like, "Okay."
What do we? Speaking of that, actually, comeback player of the year.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I think Joe Flacco. I mean, again, I know DeMar Hamlin died on the football field, but Joe Flacco's career died. And
that's true. It is comeback player of the year, not comeback to life player of the year. So
yeah, exactly. So I'll go with Joe Flacco.
He died on the field, but
Flacco revived the Browns, man. Come on.
Yeah. You really got to step up your comeback there tomorrow, right? You know,
how dare you, Big
well,
Greg?
Joe Flacco made people in Cleveland believe they'll go to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
That's better than coming back from the dead. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you died on the field. You made Cleveland fans believe. That's amazing. What have we got here? Crank Shuttle says, I think Josh Allen has a better running game to beat the Chiefs. Josh Allen himself or Josh Allen's running backs? Tell you what,
Josh Allen himself.
Good. No, Cook is good.
Cook's good. And I mean,
I said fumble.
You said before the Cowboys game, and I think I said the same thing. Is like Cowboys are susceptible to run, and James Cook killed it that day. So he's definitely a guy that can run it. And yeah, again, sub-zero temperatures. I assume they've been shoveling snow in Buffalo, so yeah, running game might be important. Ribman, he is basically that Homer Simpson meme of him just drooling. Wait, who are we talking about?
Robbie, I'm sure about the Buffalo stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, that whole running thing, I mean, it's the old Madden, playing with Vic thing, right? Roll out. Are you gonna guard my guy? Okay, then I'm gonna run it. And when you have Allen and Lamar Jackson and a healthy Jalen Hurts, I mean, it's just so fucking dangerous. But out of those 3 guys, who's the best passer? It's Josh Allen, right? So like he's the most dangerous of those fucking guys. And so I don't know about you, but when I'm watching that game, if in any remote way I want them to lose because of some reason, and I watch him drop back and he's not throwing, I'm like, he's about to run. That motherfucker, dude. He's about to run, and I know they can't stop it. So I'm just like, stay in that pocket. Please stay in that pocket. So I can only imagine for these people who are actually fully rooted with the opposing team, like what they must think. I really don't want to see the Niners face Buffalo, because even with that tough defense, I'm just that nightmare of Josh Allen going, I guess nobody's open. It's just like,
I know,
no.
we also know that if he stays in the pocket, he's gonna flop.
They're like interception.
No, flop. Just someone brushes his elbow, he's gonna go down like he's wearing that Russian helmet that you've got back there.
15-yarder.
Yeah, that's what Josh Allen does. I think he could be worse than LeBron James when it comes to the flop. Josh Allen,
pretty much guaranteed. I mean, you would think he was in a Draymond Green like headlock or something. The way he goes down.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Let's get through the plugs and then head out of here. First of all, just Josh.
If you want to find me on X, you can reach me at NJHunt02, or you can come find me in the Seven Hills of Cincinnati.
Excellent.
Jay
Scooper.
I want to give shout out to Jeff Yapuntich. Is that how you pronounce it? I can never say it
properly. No, you nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah.
Yes. He's continued to help support what I'm doing over here. So I want to give him props for that. Because again, we can use all the medical help that we can get over here.
Newer go.
And yes. And I forgot one of the show and tell items was the money that guy had when he got smoked. 1,000 somethings. I don't know what the fuck, if it's ruble. I don't know.
I thought it was like something with a K, like I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I can read it.
Yeah, good. Big Greg, just a defensive end breathes on Josh and he falls 19 feet. This is true. Ribman, why does Robbie look like someone took his buffet pass? It's depressing. Thanks, Ribman.
Oh, it is rubles, because I can actually read the letters. I don't always know what something means, but this is rublium. So it's 1,000.
1,000 rubles?
Rubles.
So I don't know how much 1,000 rubles is worth, but
yeah. Very nice. Robbie, what have you got to plug?
So you can find us, the United States of Australia podcast, at USA of AUS Pod. Soon it'll be on Linktree. I didn't have a chance to do that this week due to issues I had.
Previous 3 or 4 weeks, but yeah. Continue.
Yeah, well, this week was I actually tried.
I'm kidding. Whatever, continue.
And then you can find me at Mariner Robbie on Twitter, where you can find a bunch of probably Josh Allen porn, depending on if he wins tomorrow. And if not, you won't hear from me at all. I'll just be a silent account for a couple days.
$11.34. That's the conversion. So you probably buy a house with it in Russia or something. I don't know.
Look at that. You've got an $11.34 note.
You can buy a pack of cigarettes, man.
Yeah. Not in my country. Excellent. The podcast feed is now officially moved over to the Creative Control Network. That's why there's been a little bit of a delay with stuff, but I will be getting stuff back up, sending it over to Joe Feeney, who is now promoting us in multiple places, including Keeping It 100 with Conan. So yeah, that's the podcast feed will be kicking back off. Outside
will
of that,
stop that after all that illegal Russian gear?
maybe we'll see what happens with that
after Robbie's $500 check clears.
Yeah. In an hour and a half or so, our interview with the great Dr. Steve from Opie and Anthony fame, Weird Medicine on Sirius XM. He came on to chat to myself and Chad, a friend of the show from Get My Go. And of course, we talked about some of Robbie's health issues. But speaking of Get My Go, we've got episodes out at the moment, youtube.com/getmygo. And we just recorded yesterday, which was a fun episode. I think that would, when that one comes out, it'll be a good time. So yeah, outside of that, on X, I am at that Aussie guy. Just mention that Aussie guy. Put an S with the A should be. We'll catch you next time on United States of Australia. Very good, Scoop.